Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the inaugural Racing Revolution Coastal Financial Truck Series race here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be the slurpsodas.com 200 tonight from, again, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I am Trevor Earhart. Joining me in the booth tonight is going to be Justice Murphy, and running production for us is going to be Rob Rader for the first broadcast here tonight on the for the Racing Revolution Truck Series. Justice, how you doing tonight as the drivers finish up their practice session?
Yeah, doing good. Glad to be here. See these boys battle. Got a little money on the line tonight, so we get to see something we haven't seen. These guys have a little pressure on them to go out there and actually perform, get out front, and see what they can do. I think you've got some guys that'll be tough, and you know the way these trucks run these mile and a halves, it's quite a bit of drafting. We ought to see some slingshots and some fun.
It should be a lot of fun to watch them in the draft here at around Charlotte with the momentum that these trucks have to have. And a first look at really the league as a whole. We've done a practice broadcast for these guys in a open hosted session, but tonight going to be the first race under the league banner. So first look at what seems to be the league drivers, and a pretty good turnout here tonight. 25 drivers as we get into a one lap shootout here for qualifying.
Yeah, straight to Caleb here as we ride on board probably for his Q run, and you're gonna see guys do something a little different. They've got to make it quick. Normally you're gonna get 2 laps here, a little 5 minute session, but having only one puts a lot of pressure on your exit of 3 and 4 as you're coming to your hot lap.
Yeah, a lot of typically you have that one lap to get the tires warm, kind of throw away lap, get the truck up to speed. But here tonight, once you cross the start finish line, it's go time from the drop of that green flag, and Caleb Gilbert on board with him as we head down into one. Going to try to wrap that white and blue line down there, get the truck all the way to the bottom, and keep as much of that momentum up as he can here heading down the back straightaway.
Yeah, one of those things you really see at Charlotte is just how smooth the track surface is. A lot of places you go, it's bumpy, and you kind of got to navigate where the rough patches are. Not at Charlotte. You get to just go out and show off how good you are at holding a smooth wheel.
Yeah, holding that smooth wheel, Caleb across the line for his first lap, 29.94. Right now puts him provisional pole. John Fike, Nick Alves across the line. Kevin Orlando, though, to top of the board. And here comes Frank Hughes as the times start to roll in.
Yeah, we see all the Hughes boys currently first through seventh. We got a few of them hanging out here tonight, so it'll be fun as we go on board here for another lap.
Not quite sure which truck that was crossing the line there. It's going to take us a minute. Some new guys, some guys that y'all have seen before as we're live, I believe, on the Racing Revolution YouTube channel. But from after this, Justice will be on the Revo Racing Network, the new channel for all the Truck Series races coming up.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for that. We get some trucks, and then I think we have something coming up, maybe with a little Thursday night love. We'll see what we got there as we ride on board with Jacob Serkovich down here into turn one.
Yeah, heading out into turn one to complete his qualifying lap here. Actually, already completed his one and only lap with a 30.057, good enough for ninth quickest. Just out there trying to get a couple of extra laps in for himself to get a little bit more practice in.
Yeah, never a bad idea. As we ride on board, it looks like with Trevor Keith diving it off into turn one. See if he can hold a tight line down here. Like I said, not extremely bumpy, but easy to get tight and then a little loose as you see him slide a little bit there, Trevor.
Yeah, it looks like he might have caught the apron just a little bit down there in 1 and 2, and that's really going to kill the momentum of his truck as he tries to set a fast lap for himself. And that's the one thing about these trucks. They're really easy to drive, but they're really unforgiving when you get them out of shape based off of how much, momentum you've got to keep up in those things. A little bit of a wiggle can cost you a lot of time around these mile and a half racetracks.
Yeah, there's so much on throttle time with these trucks. They're punching huge holes in the air, and you just got all the downforce in the world. You just got to drive them and hope that you don't get upset as we ride along with Waylon Turner down here into turn three.
And Turner going down into turn number 3 and 4 for his one and only qualifying lap. Not all the way down to the bottom, though, out of 3 and 4. Kind of a different line there. We'll see how good this lap's going to be for him. Currently 25th, crosses the line all the way up to 7th for that 30 machine of Waylon Turner. Good qualifying run for himself.
P7. Looks like we've got 4 guys that have yet to lay a lap down. As Tay McDonald jumps to P3. leaving 3 guys without a lap. It's going to be the 77 of Grant Thorpe, 44 of Ray Lane, and the 78 of Jeff Weimer at the moment.
Still got about a minute left in qualifying, so plenty of time for those guys. They got about 30 seconds to get out there, I would say, to get their lap started, but a little bit of time left in qualifying. And looking at it right now, Jeremy Burns, Frank Hughes, Tay McDonald, Alex Berube, Kevin Orlando going to be the top five as it sits, unless one of those other three can get out there and get a lap in. But doesn't look like anybody out on track here for the remainder of qualifying.
Yeah, it's possible those guys might have made a little wall contact. That can happen coming off of especially turn 2 here in Charlotte. It gets very very tight if you're not careful.
Yeah, really easy to get up into that outside wall. Well, as we wrap up qualifying here, about 20 seconds left in, quick little race rundown 134 laps here tonight, 75% fuel for these trucks, stage at lap 30. And then one fast repair, something that we will not see when the league officially starts up in April, but one fast repair here for these guys tonight, which could see some interesting racing with these guys, knowing that they have a fast repair in the back pocket.
Yeah, strong field to run your first race where you're just in a league session. Not just anybody can join you at 26 participants. That's a big number.
It's a really good turnout for these guys here tonight. As field's gritting up, let's take a look at our starting lineup on pole. For the first race, first unofficial race of the season is going to be the 72 of Jeremy Burns. Frank Hughes will start on the outside in second. Tay McDonald's going to roll off in third with Alex Berube in fourth. Kevin Orlando is going to start in the fifth position with Dominique Hughes in sixth. Caleb Gilbert will start in seventh with Waylon Turner on his outside in eighth. John Fike will roll off ninth, and our in-race reporter Devin Hudgens will start in 10th. And I think we're going to bring Devin up here in a couple of seconds, Justice, to get his thoughts on this race.
Devin, it's the boys up in the booth. How are we feeling tonight, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty confident tonight. I'll tell you what.
Devin, you roll. Oh, go ahead, Justice.
I'd say P9 in practice, rolling off P10 tonight. What's the plan? How are you going to work your way forward and take home that cash prize?
Well, I guess the first things first is to try and survive the race. It is 134 laps after all. So I'm not going to try and push it too hard here at the beginning. I just want to conserve and see how everybody's actually going to race, and hopefully we'll have a few green flag runs, and I'll be there at the end.
Well, Devin, I know you race a lot in the next gen cars. How much practice do you have in the trucks, and how much are you looking forward to not only this race but the season going forward as a whole?
Well, I've had a few weeks of truck practice now. I don't remember the last time I ran Charlotte in trucks though, so I gotta say, for me being only a tenth off from people like Burns, it's pretty nice to know that I'm at least in the competition right now.
Anything that you learned in practice? Get any pack runs in with anybody that you think you can go run with and see if you can work together as a group, get up there, and then battle it out?
Sadly, no. I was primarily worrying about qualifying hits and pit entry to make sure I get in there conservatively good. But I do know me and Fike have been kind of talking and working together a little bit, so it's kind of good that he's on my inside. Maybe we can help each other out at some point.
Well, Devin, yeah. I don't have anything else for you unless Justice does. Good luck tonight.
No, good luck. We're gonna ship you back up there to talk with the boys.
All right, thank you guys, and appreciate the broadcast.
And that was Devin Hudgens, the 84 machine, gonna roll off 10th. Justice, and practice pit road entry, practice qualifying laps. Now it's time to go out there and do it in the pack.
Yeah, nobody prepares you for how tough it is to get into pit road here at Charlotte, but we'll see how that plays out for them. I think it's a great thing to practice.
That it is. Well, pace car is off. Trucks are creeping into that Geico restart zone. Jeremy Burns going to lead us to the green flag. Barney's got it in the air. Green flag is out. A little bit of a wiggle from the inside row as the wheel spin kind of kicks in, but Burns with a decent start. Frank Hughes on that outside with the help from the 19 of Berube, though, going to have a good shove into 1 and 2. Going to try to pinch that 72 machine down on that white line and see if he can hold him off here out of 2.
Yeah, you just can't talk enough about how big that air is when you're dumping it on that rear spoiler, especially the right rear. And you see Frank Hughes really be able to hold Jeremy down and hold his own here. He may take the lead, probably clearing by an entire truck length here.
They got him clear there through 3 and 4. Berube a little tight out of 4. He gets into the outside wall. It's going to check up that outside line just a tad bit with Dominic Hughes in that 39 machine there. But for Frank, a nice little lead pulling out now by about 2-3 truck lengths over that 72 machine. And Burns under pressure now from the 19 of Berube, but cautions out further on back in the field.
Yeah, we have a wreck in the back. Looks like that was the 21 truck, along with the 23 and the 11. It looks like maybe on this truck. So we'll see what these guys had. This is a little early in the race to be getting too aggressive. Maybe that fast repair coming into play here.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look back and see what the replay is going to show as we get that working on for you guys. But the trucks involved in that, I believe it's the Jake Williams machine, the 21, 23 of Jacob Sirkovich. And then Justice, I believe you caught the third truck involved in that?
Yeah, I believe it was the 11 of Peyton Presley. That was the third truck involved, and just maybe guys in the back of the pack not quite settled in yet.
We get that pulled up, and Justice, walk us through it.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit too deep in the corner there from Jacob Sirkovich, and just kind of caused a stack up as he got to a bumper, checked up, and that was the end of that. He spun out in the wall and nowhere to go for a couple of these other guys.
Nowhere to go for 21 of Jake Williams and the 11 there of Peyton Presley. But hey, like we said, they got that one fast repair. Tough break to use it on lap 2, but at least you know you have it. Can get that damage fixed and get back out there, but still a long way to go in this race to have to be using that this early.
Yeah, it's better here though than a place like Talladega or Daytona, man. You use it there and then you're feeling like you're really in a hole. At least here you can still be fairly aggressive and kind of feel things out, because it's just not as likely that you're going to run somebody over and get yourself in a bad situation again. At least unless you got Trevor Earhart up there racing you for the lead late, right?
Only at Charlotte, and then you just got to worry about Justice being behind you at Nashville Super Speedway. So it works itself out. But working our first caution here, lap 4 currently. Jeremy Burns, Justice, started on the pole, gave up 2 spots right off the start. The bottom line not looking the greatest there. We even saw Alex Berube there in the 19 getting the outside wall off of 4, but still drove right around him out of 2. Is that just a conservation thing, or are you thinking the outside line is going to be the dominant line here tonight?
So you see a mixture of two things there. Burns definitely backing off, wanting to save the right front. That big point of emphasis in the truck. That is a big point. But now the outside line, when it's a little cooler here in Charlotte, loves to be run. The only time that really changes if it gets super hot. You'll see guys run all the way to the fence. But yeah, I think Burns just backing off of it, trying to bide his time and maybe stay out of the dirty air. The more you can stay out of that, the more right front tire you can save. But I expect Burns for sure to get back up there and be a factor here as we see him coming to the choose, Trevor.
Oh yeah, first time here with the choose. You see the drivers there splitting the start finish line in the apron there in the tri-oval, dictating where they want to restart inside or outside. A really cool thing that the truck series here is implementing. We see it, on Wednesday nights over on V Speed with the Cup Series guys, where we take the choose cone every week. And it's one of those things where it's fun to have. It can cause some issues from time to time, and we have seen drivers hit the choose cone. So don't be surprised throughout tonight if you see somebody occasionally go to the back of the field after the choose cone for taking a penalty.
Yeah, you've got some guys here that are not used to that. They've probably not been in leagues that have done that. And then you've got our Cup Series vets that are used to it, and we've done it for 2 seasons now. And you'll see those guys really get where they want to go and need to go to avoid the box. I think you'll see some guys hit it, and they'll learn from this. This is all part of the process. This is why they're still a couple weeks out from starting. They want guys to be comfortable and learning how these processes.
That's the kind of the fun one when we implemented that. It was very entertaining the first couple of weeks that we had that implemented, watching everybody go through that process. But it looked like a really good choose cone for all these guys for the first time. Is Pace car is getting ready to pull off. Frank Hughes going to lead us back to the green flag. Alex Berube going to restart in that outside position. Jeremy Burns and then Dominic Hughes in fourth as we get ready to get into that Geico restart zone. On the gas pedal we go. A little bit of wheel spin there from Frank, but nonetheless a good jump from him. Berube going to be clear of Burns even before they get into turn number 1.
Yeah, great jump there by Frank Hughes at the end of the day there. He's going to get out there and lead it. And I think some of that is Alex is willing to kind of let that happen. It doesn't necessarily benefit you to burn them off racing too tight right now, but we see Alex diving to the inside of 3.
And not wasting any time trying to get that 19 machine in clean air. Clips a little bit of the apron, drifts up almost into the side of that 61 machine. Almost a little bit more contact there out of turn number 4. To keep it off one another right now. Hughes trying to hold on to that lead position as they head into 1. Battle for second behind them between Dominic Hughes and Jeremy Burns. Burns going to give that position pretty easily up to that 39 machine, fall back to 4th. And Berube still looking for a lead for the lead, but further on back in the field, side-by-side action back in the back.
Yeah, we see it kind of sort itself out 1st through 6th a little bit. You'll see the guys up front in the corners getting side-by-side. But yeah, we have a side-by-side battle here for 7th. And maybe further back, getting 3 wide for a minute there. But these guys look like they're trying to sort it out and maybe settle in and get some laps logged here.
Yeah, trying to sort it out. This is going to be the battle that we're watching right here between Caleb Gilbert, Waylon Turner. This is going to be for 7th, 8th position, 9th, and 10th right behind them with Devin Hudgens, who we talked to in the pre-race, and John Fike there in the 10. They're just kind of watching, waiting to see what's going to happen. It looks like Turner going to clear the 54 machine there of Caleb Gilbert through 3 and 4.
Yeah, it looks like Devin was trying to poke his nose up there and follow Waylon up through there, but maybe thought a little better of it right there in 3 and 4. I think if Devin's smart, he's a good guy. He knows what he's doing. He may settle in, but we see him try to make another stab at it around the outside here.
Try to make that outside line work for himself, get a good run there. Has a little bit of momentum, but John Fike going to give a push there to Caleb Gilbert in the 54, further up in front of them. A battle for the lead now between Dominic Hughes, Alex Berube. This is coming out in turn number 4. Berube with a big slide, hangs on to it, but he's going to have to cut the grass on the tri-oval, but a good save there from the 19 machine.
Yep, we'll see how far back Alex falls here. We go back to the instant replay right here. I think here in just a second. We'll see what happened between Alex and Frank. I think there was a little door-to-door contact. Just a little bit. Maybe falls to the hands of Burns here in a lap or so.
Yeah, it looks like falling back to that 5th position. Burns, who was our pole sitter, falling all the way back here to 6th. And just kind of.
Yep, Frank Hughes right back to the lead, and now Tay's going to try to get underneath Dominic Hughes as well. See if he can work up there. And you're starting to see guys swap it off, but you notice who you don't see being aggressive quite yet is Mr. Jeremy Burns. I'm telling you, Trevor, saving that tire and biding his time. He may get up there and check out if this runs long here.
I mean, 30 laps to the stage. You can be aggressive up to the stage break. I mean, you can run it hard, kind of see what the tire wear is going to do and play it safe from there. But Burns electing to use that safe now strategy, be there at the end of the stage. But right now, side by side for second place, Dominic Hughes, the 29 there of Tay McDonald fighting this out for second place. And they're still side by side. This has been going on now for about a lap and a half. Right behind them, Kevin Orlando, Alex Berube doing battle between the 27 and the 19 as they're side by side for second on back. But it looks like the 29 now going to be able to clear that and get that second position all to himself.
Oh, we've got a 3-wide battle here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and it looks like Kevin's going to clear them both. He's going to slide up in position. It took Tay a lap or two to kind of work over the pass for second, but made it work, and now we see Alex passing Dominic Hughes. So you have 1st, 2nd, 3rd, now 4th, and then we're 2 abreast for 2 rows here, Trevor.
Yeah, 2 abreast. Dominic Hughes, the 30 of Waylon Turner. Jeremy Burns kind of caught up on that inside line. The 39 is going backwards, and Burns has nowhere to go. You see Hudgens in the 84 going by on the outside. Here comes the 10 of Fike. Gilbert going to go down and help his Cup Series teammate to try to get around that 39. Is there going to be 3 wide going into 1? Almost contact made, and Burns is going to back out of that wisely.
And that's super tight going into 1. You don't really realize it until you go to cut those kinks, Trevor. Just how tight 1 gets. As we see, it looks like a side-by-side battle for second as Kevin's passing Tay McDonald.
And Kevin to the inside of Tay McDonald for second place. So the lead shaken up. The battle is back here for 10th on back shaken up. But Kevin going to try to get up there and go to battle with the 61 machine. But Tay doing a good job holding on on that outside line, has a great run, might even try to get to the outside of Frank here in 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think he may get him on the exit if he can get to that right rear. Tay's in the power position, and he is there. We're now 2-by-2 for first through fourth here to see who can make the run.
Goes from being attacked by the 27 of Kevin Orlando to attacking the 61 of Frank Hughes. And just like that, Tay McDonald to the top spot out of turn number 4. He's going to get that lead on the outside from the outside position. Here comes Alex Berube in the 19. We saw him sliding through the infield a couple of laps ago. He's back up here to 4th, trying to go for 3rd and 2nd place. And just like that, it's going to almost get a 2-for-1 here out of 1 and 2.
Yeah, if I had to pick 2 guys that I thought were about to force it 3 wide, it was Alex and Kevin, man. Those guys love to race and love the spirit of racing. 2 guys that I really enjoy being around and kind of getting to know outside of the track. But we see Alex finally fully clear Frank. Let's see if he can make a run up to Tay. It looks like everything kind of further back sorted itself out until the battle for 8th is Burns is under attack again.
Yeah, Burns just he got stuck behind Dominic there. Trevor Keith got around him, and now Burns trying to get that position back. You see Ray Lane in the 44 there as well, but Burns just been going backwards, but I don't think it's of his own devices. I think he just got caught up in a bad spot there. We saw the 3 wide going into 1 where he backed out of it, and that lost him all his momentum. So now trying to get that back as they head into 1.
As we're going to go on board into 1 with Jeremy Burns here and kind of see the line he's running and what it looks like here coming around Charlotte, man. Those trucks look so far away, and you just don't feel like you're ever going to catch them until you realize you're right on their bumper. You really want to see these guys battling, and as Burns dives off into 3, you see him kind of run middle and circle low. Trevor, is that your preferred line here?
You know, Burns taking that nice arc. I'm more of a just get it to the bottom and wrap the bottom as much as you can. But in these trucks, it hurts the momentum to do that. To just keep it on the bottom, you lose too much speed. So Burns taking that nice wide arc from the top to the bottom really keeps the momentum up in these things, and is really helping him gain. You can see over the last lap that we've been on board how much time he's gained on the trucks in front of him.
Yeah, you know, guys, we haven't really talked about being on the move. Ray Lane in 9th place, up 16 positions from the start, Trevor. Good run for him. We see Caleb starting to bounce back as he's settled into 10th. And it looks like Nick is trying to pass Trevor Keith here. That 24 truck looks sporty.
Yeah, Nick, the Coastal Financial, I believe Toyota, trying to get around Trevor Keith there. For that 10th and 11th position is where that battle, or I'm sorry, it's 11th and 12th is where that battle is. And a little bit of a switch back there from the 15 of Trevor Keith as he looks to get back by Nick going into 3 and 4.
Yeah, I tell you, the battle we're keying in on here is a good one. But, man, Fike and Burns are about to get after it as well. And you're about to see just how bad it can be when you're the trailing truck. If Burns can't find the clean air, it makes it very hard to pass as these trucks are starting to even out late in the run.
Yeah, that battle brewing up back there. But up front, Alex Berube, power move on the outside out of turn number 2. He's going to get to the outside of the 29 of Tay McDonald going into 3 and 4. Berube looking for that lead again here as they exit turn number 4.
Again, 2 guys that love to battle and run hard, man. This is what makes these fun. We'll see if Alex can actually get it as Tay gets a little momentum back here. And they're going to split basically bottom lane and Alex somewhere in about lane 2.5. See if Alex can carry the momentum off of 2 here as they're going to drag race down the backstretch.
Got the momentum, not clear of the 29. That's going to allow Tay to drive it back in here on the bottom. If I was Berube, I'd have pinched him just a little bit more in 1 and 2. A really good pinch right there in 3 and 4. You can see the 29 of Tay McDonald really have to get out of the gas to keep from getting into the side of Alex there as they exit 4. But Berube, the 19 machine, back to the top spot.
Yeah, that exit of 4 when you know the kink is coming up gets a little tight for the guys, and you kind of have to make a self-preservation decision there. I can tell you who was salivating as those guys were side by side was Kevin and Frank as they were watching themselves catch them, and now I think you're going to see Alex drive off a little bit.
I think Alex got that clean air. We'll see, though, if he can drive off. We've already seen that truck into the outside wall once. We've seen it into the infield once. So how much life do those tires have back? As we look further on back, Stephen Hudgens going for a move on John Fike. Fike a little bit into the outside wall as they head into turn number 1.
Yeah, and we see Jeremy Burns once again kind of victim of circumstance here. He loves that they're battling, gives him a chance to catch them, but This is where it becomes very hard to pick the right lane. As it looks like maybe he has, as he now gets to side by side with Devin Hudgens. We'll see what happens as John Fike is catching Waylon Turner. This could make the battle more interesting.
Yeah, got to the outside there. Finally had that preferred line. Got to keep the momentum up. Clears the 84 machine of Hudgens and Fike trying to find a way around Waylon Turner. They both go to the inside. That's going to give Burns a free run on the outside and some clean air. As you can see him draft up here to the rear end of that 10 machine down the back straightaway.
And you see Fike try to make a move to kind of block off Jeremy's run there, and that's where it's tough. Is the minute you lift off that gas pedal here, you're pretty much stuck if you're Burns. And he gets a great run off of 4. Looks like he gets below Fike, and I think he may get a 2 for 1 down here in 1 and 2.
Might get a 2 for 1 down into 1 and 2. You can see it there in the background, but we moved up forward just a little bit. That was Kevin Orlando. Frank Hughes doing battle for 3rd and 4th. Looks like Kevin's going to get that battle. Win that battle as he moves up into 3rd. Back behind there, it is Burns who did almost get the 2 for 1. Now completes the 2 for 1 as he gets around the 30 of Waylon Turner using that inside line. But Justice battle for the lead again, heating up here out of turn number 4.
Yeah, out ahead of those guys, man. Tay's been peaking for a couple laps. I've been kind of eyeing this battle while you were talking about 3rd there, and Tay keeps trying to peak. I think this is going to get really rowdy here coming to the stage. If Tay can maybe make the right move, maybe try to suck up to Alex down the back straight, Trevor, I think he could get a good run if he's willing to go 3rd lane at the top, but Alex seems to cover that off.
Yeah, Alex been doing a good job covering that off, coming to, I believe, 3 to go before we get the stage caution. Berube a little bit tight. Here comes the opportunity for the 29 of Tay McDonald. A brief onboard shot, but a dive down here into 1 and 2. Going to try to get it all the way down to the white line. Berube going to have that momentum off the top side. Can Tay McDonald do anything here down the back straightaway?
And Tay held a lot more momentum than I thought he might right there. This has to be timed so perfectly as you get your runs. This may be where Tay gets it as he gets down in 3 and 4. I think this is the more likely end to carry momentum off the bottom and really get there.
This has been the end that Berube's been struggling on. It's been the exit at turn number 4 and, flirting with disaster with that outside wall. Tay, though, going to elect to follow him here into 1 and 2. Didn't dive it all the way to the bottom like he did the previous lap. Kind of took a nicer arcing line into it, but lost a little bit of momentum there out of the 2 here as we come to 2 to go in the stage.
Yeah, this is very tough for Tay as he may be a little too far back at this point. It takes a little bit to build the runs just right, and he may have fallen off just a little too much, but we have a heck of a battle here for like 4th, 5th, 6th. These guys are really dicing it up back in the back.
Yeah, white flag for the stage. Looks like Berube going to be able to hold on to that. Further on back, this is what would be the battle for stage points if this was in the regular season. It's John Fike side by side, Waylon Turner. Then you got Hudgens side by side with Caleb Gilbert. Further back, Ray Lane, Nick Alves, all doing battle, trying to finish in the top 10. It looks like these battles starting to work their way out as Fike going to lose a little bit of ground here to Waylon Turner out of turn number 4.
Yeah, these guys are going to have maybe a little photo finish back here for like 7th in the stage. I think Hudgens may have clipped Caleb Gilbert. Actually, it was for 8th. Man, those guys really were battling it out back there. Great battle for the lead coming to a few to go. Just a couple of mistimed runs, but I think Tay's got a piece tonight, and it may be a battle of these 1929 cars.
Yeah, Tay looks pretty quick. Berube obviously real quick with the stage win. Jeremy Burns got all the way back up to 4th, so quick stage rundown. Alex Berube, Tay McDonald, Kevin Orlando, Jeremy Burns, Frank Hughes going to be your top 5. Waylon Turner, John Fike, Devin Hudgens, Caleb Gilbert, and Ray Lane round out the top 10 here. So we get ready for some pit stops. Justice, thoughts on the first 30 laps here?
Yeah, I think first and foremost thing I'd like to mention, we got our in-race reporter going from 10th to 8th there, a little battling at the end. I think that he's got a chance to keep working his way forward. Burns, you saw it kind of at the end there where those tires started to pay off. I think after the stage, if this thing goes green all the way through a full tank of fuel, he is definitely going to be in the conversation for the battles for the lead.
It'd be one to watch out for. 75% fuel for these guys, so not a full fuel load, not as bad as what we run on Wednesday nights where it's 50% fuel, so kind of a nice medium. Should be, a 40-ish lap run, 35 lap run, somewhere in there, I think.
Yeah, I think it's about 40 laps on 75% in the trucks. and these boys will use all the tires they can on those 40 laps.
That they will. One caution so far for, well, technically two cautions, one stage break here. One caution earlier on earlier on during lap 2 when we saw the 21 of Jake Williams, Jacob Sergovich, and I believe Peyton Presley all caught up in a wreck early on. But everybody on pit road here for their first stops of the day, and 4 tires and fuel looks to be the call, Justice, for everybody in the field.
Yeah, it's at that point in the race you definitely you're taking your 4 and going back out there and see what you can do with the 4 fresh Goodyear tires. But I'm looking at some averages here, Trevor. You got guys on 20 lap averages. The field is super tight. Anywhere basically guys from 30.9 flats to 31 flats is basically the average from 1st to 16th on 20 lap old tires. So these guys are really putting it out there.
It's a pretty good splits there. And speaking of,
Whoa, 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 hello.
well, you hear it there from the in-race reporter, and you see it live on screen. Carnage under pacing. Devin, walk us through what you just saw unfold in front of you.
Looks like somebody wasn't paying attention and decided to use someone else as their brakes. And about 2 other trucks as well.
Looks for sure the 29 of Tay McDonald. Not sure who else was in there, but
Are you coming to the choose here, Devin? You got one more lap.
No, we're coming to choose now.
Coming to choose now. Let's see what they take while producers getting the replay up, boys. Yeah, so we're on board here with Tay, and it looks like Frank Hughes just kind of got into the back of Kevin, got him into the back of Tay. Waylon Turner with nowhere to go, and hits the right front. So that's tough break. Again, things they're learning, getting comfortable with each other. These guys will learn that over the next couple weeks.
That they will. Well, Devin, real quick 30 lap run there. Good battling in the there for 8th on back. What were your thoughts on that real quick before we send you back up there to your chat?
Oh, that was some great clean racing. That's what I got to say about it. Can't wait to see this next green flag run and see how it goes. And I raced a little bit harder than what I wanted to, but it was worth it all in the end because I'm still up here in the top 10 and I don't have to worry about what's going on behind me.
Well, your pace was on par with the leaders, buddy. Go up there, hunt them down. Go get that 84 machine in victory lane.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Justice.
That was Devin Hudgens, our in-race reporter, in the 84 machine. Going to restart, I think now looks like going to be in about 8th position there on the outside row. Is Tay McDonald going to have to go to the back with some damage. Kevin Orlando going to stay in that 4th spot, Justice. He's got a little bit of damage here. As Jeremy Burns is going to lead us in to the Geico restart zone here for the restart. Green flag is out. Actually, it was Alex Berube, I'm sorry, in the outside line with a great jump there on the restart.
Yeah, it looked like Alex did the thing I thought the leader would do on the last choose, which just took the outside lane. That seems to get a lot of momentum. It also can make a difference who's your pusher. And he knew that it was likely to be Kevin there, and he made the right choice. Kevin is one of those really aggressive guys on a push.
Yeah, it was a good choice there from Berube. He's gotten clear now of Jeremy Burns. But recap under caution, Tay McDonald, Kevin Orlando, I believe the 61 machine of Frank Hughes and Waylon Turner all involved in that slowdown incident there in 3 and 4. Frank Hughes called it a night. Tay McDonald with some damage. Kevin as well with some damage. We'll have to wait and see kind of how that's going to shape out for these guys. You can see the battling back there for 6th on back.
Yeah, these guys are already mixing it up. I think you're seeing some guys start to save some tire. Maybe a little bit of damage here hurting Kevin. The rear damage on the trucks is very sensitive because of how aero dependent they are. So not surprised to see Kevin falling off a little bit. He will be happy to get through this tank of gas, go down pit road and get that fast repair taken care of.
Go get that fast repair taken care of, or maybe hope for an early caution so he can come down and get that damage fixed and not lose a lot of track position for himself. But Waylon Turner, another one of those guys, I thought he drove into the side of one of those vehicles, but doesn't look like that 30 machine, doesn't look like it's too badly damaged here as he's trying to hold off the 84 of Devin Hudgens. And behind them, battling with, I believe that is going to be Nick Alves and Kevin Orlando. Orlando's with that damage going backwards through the field.
Yeah, as we see Ray Lane make a pass on John Fike for third, that's a guy knifing his way through the field, man. We know this. We've been around Ray for a while. Charlotte is one of his favorite tracks. He lives a couple hours from there. Fantastic around this track, and I think he's got a piece for Alex too. It's a shame Tay's piece got damaged, but I think Tay will be back up here. As you see Waylon, maybe that nose damage starting to catch up to him a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. You saw him go wide there in 1 and 2, trying to keep that momentum up for himself. But yeah, Ray Lane, one of those guys, set a record in Racing Revolution back in the day for most laps led at a racetrack. Unfortunately, didn't get the win, but it was here at Charlotte in the Xfinity car. So we do know he's got the speed. As we look back at that battle with Waylon Turner, Devin Hudgens, that's going to be for 5th and 6th. As Hudgens trying to wrestle that spot away on that inside line. So he's going to get him cleared down there into 1 and 2.
Yeah, it gets clear, and it looks like it's kind of sorted itself out all the way back to Trevor Keith, and then we have a battle with Jake Williams and Kevin Orlando. Jake probably going to clear him pretty easily. It looks like the 26 car, perhaps, of Christopher Schaefer. Oh, no, that's Chris Nail. Sorry, in the 25. Going to try to get to the outside of Kevin Orlando and make something happen here.
Yeah, a couple of guys we haven't touched on that much back here. Jake Williams now up to 9th, Chris Nail up to 10th. Williams involved in the first caution of the night on lap 2. Great recovery for himself. One of the new additions to the league. Chris Nail, a guy we've seen on Wednesdays having a good run for himself. And then the 03 of Justin Hughes, one of the other Hugheses, trying to work his way past Kevin Orlando, moves himself up into 11th.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin just free falling back. Feel bad for him here, but we got Devin and John Fike. Devin clears him for 4th. And we've got our in-race reporter trying to make a run at these guys up front. It looks like perhaps Burns and Ray have settled in behind Alex. Said let's let Alex set the pace and see what we can do.
Yeah, Burns just kind of staying within that 2-3 truck length gap from the 19 machine. Ray Lane really closed up though, now to about 1 truck length off the rear bumper of the 72 to see if he can maybe make a pass for second. But Hudgens there in the 84, running that outside line, that nice late arc that we kind of saw Burns doing. Didn't get all the way to the bottom there out of 3 and 4, but nonetheless having a good run for himself. But Burns with the drafting help from the 44. Justice here he goes into 1 and 2.
Yeah, they look like they may make a move on Alex here, and if Burns can clear him off of 2, he's going to be dangerous out there in clean air. But he doesn't quite get clear. This is hard for Ray, just as hard as this is for the 2 guys battling for the lead. Being that 3rd car, trying to get the clean air so that you don't kill your momentum. See if you can also execute the passes. Burns has cleared him, and now Ray's trying to get his spot too.
Jeremy Burns to the lead. He's going to go up, throw a little bit of a block through the tri-oval to try to cut off the momentum from Alex Berube that he got off the run on turn number 4. Almost had a little bit of contact there, but kills the momentum from the 19 truck. Going to be able to hold on to the lead. Ray Lane, nowhere to go. A little bit of a bump draft down the back straightaways, head off into turn number 3.
Yeah, and Burns is going to be pretty good about handling what he's got thrown at him there, as these guys are going to race off cleanly into 3 and 4. May not see too much, and we get a caution here somewhere, it looks like in the back of the pack. Shuffle happened somewhere around 16th or so.
Yeah, it looked like contact. Peyton Presley and I believe Chris Schaefer and a couple other trucks involved late in that. I saw the 13, I believe, of Wolfgang Farrow involved as well late in that. We'll have to get a replay up, but caution here on lap 44, about that of 13 14 laps after the stage break. Justice, they had 5 sets of tires. Do you come down and take another set here?
I think it's going to depend on if you took one on the early caution. If you did not, then you're coming down and getting one. And we've got the replay up here as we see Peyton Presley side by side with, I'm not sure who that is, Trevor. Is that Chris Schaefer? Yeah, a little bit of net code. Guys trying to be aggressive. Look like Schaefer maybe trying to turn off and doesn't realize that Peyton's all the way to the left rear. And then you got some guys piling in a little late. You do hate to see that, but they'll get that cleaned up. I'm not too worried about these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things. You're learning a league and learning everything, and sometimes you have that happen. But that's why we have these types of practice races, not only for us as the broadcast team, with it being our first live broadcast, but with these guys in the first league thing. And we're on board here with Wolfgang Barrow, and just didn't really get checked up there and made a late move to the outside. Nowhere for him to go at those kind of speeds, Justice, and that's going to be a fast repair used for the 13 machine.
Yeah, you hope he wasn't involved in the early one. Has that to lean on, but yeah, great battle up front. I think what you're going to see, your leaders are probably not taking tires here, just in case. Even if they just took a set at the stage, went 3 sets to get the rest of the way, I think you're going to see some guys want to save it for a late green white checkered. But if you're say 9th, 10th, 11th on back. I think that's where you start pitting from. Go get your 4 tires, see if you can make your way forward.
Yeah, down pit road that time by looks like it's going to be Waylon Turner, Michael Bennett, Chris Schaefer, Peyton Presley. Dominic Hughes has unfortunately called it a night along with Frank Hughes. But trucks that we saw involved in that caution, Justice, and trucks from the previous caution, Tay McDonald, I believe, came down and got some damage fixed. Basically, I think you called it. Basically, from about everybody from 12th on back came down pit road that time.
Yeah, Kevin, as fun as this is, Kevin did not pit, which is blows my mind a little bit. Maybe doesn't realize how bad the rear damage is on that truck. Probably getting a little input from Grant behind him, but yeah, these guys are kind of leaning on their own decision making. It's one of those things in iRacing. Your crew chief on iRacing is not going to give you any strategy. You have to go do that yourself, or have some teammates to lean on that maybe help you out. But I was kind of watching some lap times there, Trevor. Some guys that I thought, man, they're coming, but it worries me now, seeing that they're going to have a cooling cycle on the tires. And it's a guy like Nick Alves was running about 0.3 quicker than the leaders there. You worry about him maybe burning up a set of tires and see what he's got. But I think cycling back to your top 5, those guys are really, really anxious to get back going and maybe get a caution in about 20 laps and be in position A.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. About looks like 11 cars stayed out, everybody else down pit road. And it could be a combination of just fuel, damage repair, maybe some tires, but 13 lap difference on tires here at Charlotte could be interesting to see how that's going to work out for these guys.
Yeah, as smooth as the track surface is, it does still love to take the rubber down. So the trucks do not just ride around and not eat up the tread. As we see these boys coming to the choose, I'm going to be very interested to see what Jeremy Burns does with one very aggressive pusher likely behind him and one not.
Takes the inside. Berube, previous restart, elected to go outside. This time, by our leader's going to go inside. And you can see here's nice overhead shot from our producer, giving us a great look here at the choose cone.
Holy cow, Trevor! You had 4 guys in a row choose the outside, or I guess 5 guys in a row choose the outside. So Chris Nail goes from around 10th place to restarting 3rd on the inside lane. Huge track position gain, and that's what you can see with the choose cone. That's why we love using this feature, especially in the Cup Series, and seeing these guys use it tonight. They're already seeing the advantages.
That's what I love about it. You nailed it right on the head there. You can see 5 guys go to the outside because that's the preferred line, but it gives you a chance to be aggressive and maybe steal some track position in some spots by going up to the inside, and exactly what Chris Nail's going to try to do for himself.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of those guys that wish they could have it back, because Burns holding the control here and Ray Lane being a very aggressive pusher. You would love to be behind those guys because it's likely you can gain a spot or 2 behind them.
That it is. A quick update. Jake Williams up to 7th. He's up 10 spots. Matthew Robinson, another driver we haven't talked about, up 14 spots from his qualifying spot, along with Chris Nail there in the backside of the top 10. The pace car is off. Green flag getting ready to come out. Jeremy Burns going to lead us into that Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. A big shove from that outside line from Hudgens, Fike, and Berube. Got the 19 all out of shape, but they get it sorted out. But Burns with another great jump as they head off into turn number 1.
Yeah, and Devin caught back up to Berube's bumper and pushed him pretty good off into turn 1, but looks like it may not be enough, as I think Ray's going to clear him off of 2. If not, Berube's there on that right rear. This is going to be a heated up battle for second, as none of those guys want to give, I don't think, this early.
Don't want to give, but here comes Ray Lane being aggressive, trying to get that 40-4 machine into that clean air. Out of turn number 4, he's going to be side by side with Jeremy Burns as they come across the stripe. Give that lap to Burns. Here comes Berube in the 19. He's going to look to the inside, maybe give a little bit of drafting help to the 44, but no, he likes to take it to the outside line. But Ray Lane clears the 72 as they head off into turn number 2.
Yeah, very aggressive move there by Ray to get clear, and I think he knows how important it is to get out front, get that clean air. You're willing to kind of burn that right front on one lap to try to make sure you're out there. As we see Berube maybe trying to get to the outside of Burns, maybe just trying to peek to get clean air as the battle for 5th is heating up between Nail and Fike.
Yeah, Nail Fike trying to do battle for 5th place as they head into 1 and 2. Then you got Matt Robinson there in the 1 machine, Nick Alves in the 24. And actually, that's Justin Hughes in the 03 on the inside of John Fike in the 10 there, doing battle for 4th and 5th as this battle continues. And here comes Kevin Orlando with the repaired truck, Justice, trying to get up into this fight.
Yeah, he's you got 5 cars under a blanket here. The guy's battling. I did misidentify the 03 there. That was Justin Hughes the whole time. So my apologies to anybody watching that and fan of him. But yeah, 5 cars under a blanket. Grant Thorpe trying to get himself involved in this, and the battle for kind of 2nd, 3rd, 4th is just as heated right now as we see Devin Hudgens making another move to try to get past Burns for 3rd.
Yeah, being aggressive on that outside line, and this is kind of harps back to what we saw at the beginning. Jeremy Burns letting people go, saving that right front. He's going to make a run back late in this race to see if he can do anything as he lets the 84 machine go. And then we drop back to that battle again. Everybody stacked up on top of one another. You got Fike, Robinson, the 03 there of Hughes, Kevin Orlando, Nick Alves, Grant Thorpe as well, as everybody's trying to figure out where they want to be here.
Yeah, at the moment, you just kind of got Justin Hughes trapped on the inside, and I think that he would give just about anything to be up in that outside lane right now, as he's been passed by basically the entire group working by him, as we see Kevin being super aggressive, trying to work his way back forward like he's got a point to prove here and getting a little arrow push from Matty Robb.
Yeah, being aggressive, but the problem is, I mean, how aggressive is too aggressive and taking the life out of these tires, early into this run. Here he's worked his way from the back of the field now all the way up to, I believe that's going to put him in 5th position behind Jeremy Burns. But has he been too aggressive on those tires with these moves that he's been making?
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, right now over the last few laps, he's averaging anywhere from 1 to 2. Last lap, 0.3 faster than basically everybody else in the top 10. So definitely tells you he's working them a little harder. And you got to wonder, is he banking on a caution when you're running them that hard? Because if you're running them that hard now, here in about 15, 20 laps, they're just going to blow the doors off of you. So if you don't get that caution or find a way to hold your track position, you're going to be in trouble.
Could be in trouble. Matt Robinson, speaking of trouble, into the outside wall. They're out of 3 and 4, a little bit of damage for that 1 machine, and I just thought about it. Kevin Orlando, Grant Thorpe, Nick Alves, Tay McDonald, these guys all pitted a lap 45 compared to our top leaders who all pitted at the stage break. So these guys on a little bit fresher of tires took that gamble and aggressive pit strategy call, working their way up through the field, and that could be what we're seeing here with a little bit of that speed difference.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, Kevin right there is starting to level out a little bit with these guys that stayed out. His lap time fell off by about 1.5 tenths. I know working your way through traffic, but he was running quicker working through traffic earlier. You don't want him to already be leveling off with these guys, especially with Ray out there. Again, Ray's going to be a tough pass. Alex will be a tough pass, but Alex also is pretty good about knowing when he's beat. So we see Kevin dive to the inside. Can he go catch Ray Lane?
Yeah, can he catch up to Ray Lane? A little bit of contact further on back in the field. Devin Hudgens, a little bit of contact with Jeremy Burns. Hudgens going back through the field, but right now on board, here comes Kevin Orlando, dive to the inside of Ray Lane, and just like that, 27 machine to the lead out of turn number 2, making that pass look really easy.
Yeah, we see these guys on older tires really starting to fall off. D Hudge is falling all the way back to 9th place. And it's kind of single filed out, but as long as you have these tire differences throughout the field, you're going to see guys continue to pass, as we see Caleb going for 9th place here underneath Devin Hudgens.
Yeah, Caleb trying to get 9th place right now. Grant Thorpe trying to get to the inside of Alex Berube. That's another one of those new tire runners. And if you're Kevin Orlando, with how aggressive you are, this is the group of trucks I'd be worried about. You got the 77 of Grant Thorpe, the 24 of Nick Alves, 29 of Tay McDonald, not too far behind him. These are the guys that you're running with. That I think he's maybe taking a little bit too much life out of those tires, and now he's got to really worry about is Grant Thorpe up to 2nd position.
Yeah, Grant was about a tenth faster the last couple laps in a row, and then Nick was kind of leveled out with Kevin. But right there, Grant gained 3 tenths, Nick gained two, but Grant's continuing to gain on Nick. So I think these guys are definitely a concern for that 27, and they're going to have him mirror driving for a few laps here.
You see the split times there down at the bottom of the screen between Nick Alves, Grant Thorpe, Kevin Orlando. And the green means they're gaining, and the white means Kevin had the advantage. And you see the last couple of laps, it's been the advantage to that 77 machine of Grant Thorpe as they cross the line here to complete or to start lap 61.
Yeah, coming up on halfway very rapidly. And I think we're starting to see who our players are going to be because as you get these differing tire strategies, when these guys have to pit, guys like Alex, Devin, Ray, these guys that stayed out, they can end up a lap down and then a poorly timed caution gets them stuck and you're basically kind of perpetually on a bad tire strategy. So you may see this pay off the longer this goes green. These guys that took that set when we thought maybe they didn't need to, they may end up as the winners on the strat calls.
Strike call might work out for him. So everybody losing another position there to the 29 of Tay McDonald up front. There goes Grant Thorpe. He got the run off of turn number 2 to the inside of the 27 of Kevin Orlando, but a little bit of tightness down in the middle of turn number 3 is going to force that 77 out of the throttle. Kevin going to be able to hang on to it for at least another lap here.
Yeah, maybe a couple laps here. It's going to take Grant just a little bit to work a run back up, and we see it starting to get Nick back involved in the battle as it looks like he gained maybe a tenth or two there. But as it sorts itself back out, I expect Grant to kind of run away a little bit more. But yeah, at the moment, you got a really good battle going. Looks like Tay is caught up to Ray, back for fourth as well. And Ray Lane in the wall in 3 and 4.
That's not what you want to see if you're Ray Lane. Had a good truck, got a good run going for himself, and really going to lose a lot of time here for that 44 machine, as he made pretty good contact there with the outside wall.
We've got a car sliding in the grass here. And he has peeled off. All right.
Just all the excitement all of a sudden out of nowhere. Cars in the wall, cars through the grass, but now Justice looks like it's calmed down just a little bit. And a little bit of an update here. We've had a couple of car drivers calling it out. Frank Hughes, Peyton Presley, Dominic Hughes, Rafael Perez, Wolfgang Farrow, all calling it a night. Michael Bennett a couple of laps down. Jacob Sergovich has pulled it off the racetrack for the time being. Chris Nail, we just saw down pit road, leaving us with about 18 trucks here left on the lead lap.
Yeah, we got a side-by-side battle for 10th right at the moment. These guys trying to sort it out with Matty Robb and Justin Hughes. You see Devin Hudgens is falling back here, getting followed up by Joseph Joya. But, yeah, I think Matty Robb's probably going to take this one, and we'll see if he can work his way back forward. But you really start to see those older tires be a major disadvantage, Trevor.
Yeah, Matt Robb, Justin Hughes, Devin Hudgens, all on that same strategy as what we saw from the 19 of Alex Berube, Ray Lane, all having only pit on the stage break. And you see a little bit of that wiggle from the 03, but up a little bit further up in front of them. Trevor Keith, who's on the newer tires, getting around the 72 there of Jeremy Burns. That's going to be for, I believe that's for 8th position that Trevor Keith gets to move up into.
Yeah, as we see, Grant still trying to work Kevin over here, but their lap times have really leveled out and makes that pass even harder. Kevin's hard enough to pass when you have a tire advantage. Even harder to pass when you start to level times out with him. And looks like that's what's going on. Nick's still kind of hanging back there. Then Tay, nice to see he's worked his way back forward, having a little adversity there at the stage caution. Caleb Gilbert kind of back there lurking, but then you start to get back to these older tire guys, and until you get to Trevor Keith, you don't really see anybody that you think can get up there and battle those top 4 at the moment.
Yeah, Trevor Keith, about the only one from 6th and 7th, that running about the same lap times as our leader, Tay McDonald, the quickest out of our top 5 with a 31.2 his last lap compared to the leaders. But, Grant Thorpe just kind of there, Justice. He's in that kind of dirty air pocket where he can get a little bit of a run, to the inside through the corners. But after that, you see Kevin come down in front of him and just that wash of dirty air over the nose of Grant Thorpe, just not allowing him to close that gap up.
Yeah, it just makes the truck so tight on the exit, Trevor, and it's a weird feeling because if you ride right in that pocket into the corner, it's maybe a hair loose, and then as they cut across and lead that wake onto you on corner exit, you get super tight. As we see Tay trying to make a move on Nick to the outside of 1 and 2.
Tay trying to get that pass done on the outside, move himself up into third position. Nice little pinch there through the middle of the corner. Both drivers, Nick not electing to be on the bottom, but Tay with a perfectly executed pass out of turn number 2 moves himself up into the third position, and took him, I think, a little bit longer to get up here to the front than what we thought after getting that damage justice. But here that 29 machine is.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna go on board here with the fellas, get a couple cameras on the wall, and do a little crank it up. And we are back here as we're coming up on green flag pit stops. You're starting to see those guys that stayed out, Trevor, having to go into pit road. And it looks like Ray Lane has wrecked it at pit entry. That's going to be interesting for his night, probably the end of his chance at a win. But we've got our in-race reporter down on pit road, and Devin Hudgens. Looks like you got the 78 truck of Jeff Weimer. And Ray still having trouble, can't get into his box with the Happy Harvick sign. My guy's having a little bit of trouble, Trevor.
Night going from bad to worse for Ray Lane and the 44 machine, and a really easy to do that transition from turn 3 and 4 down onto the apron, trying to get the truck slowed down. You just saw him lose control of that machine, spin it to the inside wall, and then out of frustration trying to get it into your box, maybe a little bit too much rear brake, gets loose into his box, and a lot of time lost for that 44 machine on pit road.
Yeah, I know what this means, Trevor. You anticipate about 13 laps from now or so, you'll start seeing the leaders coming down, and that's where you really see them separate themselves. Guys that are good on green flag pit stops are typically your guys you see run up front, especially in our cup races. I expect that to be the same here in these truck races. These guys that are going to be good getting in and out, getting off these transitions, those are going to be the guys you got to watch out for week to week. Because we're going to see a lot of green flag racing, just like we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, a lot of things that you can do onto pit road, or getting onto pit road, getting off pit road, that can really gain you some valuable time. With how aggressive you want to be over the bumps and transitions, how aggressive you want to be in between the timing lines on pit road, and doing so, I mean, you can catch some people out with how quickly you go in between those timing zones. So a lot of things these drivers can do on and off pit road to gain an advantage over one another.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that with you. Yeah, we got a 3-wide battle, though, maybe shaping out for the lead. Kevin pulling on the pit road, maybe a little early, seeing the tire advantage these guys are getting, but we're going to have a side-by-side battle for the lead with Kevin pulling off.
Yeah, Kevin off the racetrack. He's going to be the first one of the new tires to come down pit road. So that could be the start of this second half of the field coming down pit road. But right now, Tammy Donald to the lead over the 77 machine of Grant Thorpe. And Grant just hasn't had a chance to be the leader yet. Was up there doing battle with Kevin. Kevin pulls off, but Grant Thorpe with a great run down the back straightaway, going to be side by side with the 29 machine here through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I wonder how hard these guys are willing to battle here, knowing they're about to need tires, maybe in 8 or 10 laps or so. As Grant Thorpe just refuses to give up, kind of in that preferred lane. You don't really see Tay being able to pull away like I thought we might. As maybe he clears him off a 2. But it looks like Grant's going to carry momentum, Trevor. But kind of looking in the YouTube chat, I see we got Jade out here rooting for the 84 truck. Our Burns fans, glad to see they show up regardless. They're fun to have around on Wednesdays, and good to see them again here tonight. And then we've got Kyle Diaz, the 26 car on Wednesday nights out here supporting in the chat. Great to have you guys, and love that you guys are supporting everything these boys are doing.
Yeah, it's great to see everybody out in chat. The first official broadcast of the Revo Racing Network. You see the nice new logo up in the top right hand corner of the screen. Next broadcast that we'll be live on should be on our own broadcasting network, or our own broadcasting channel. Right now, we're kind of borrowing the Racing Revolution YouTube channel, which is the home to all the great RR After Dark podcasts.
Yeah, and give that a listen. I think right now we're kind of on an every 2-week rotation. Last year we did it weekly, but you just gotta groove with this every 2 weeks. Looks like right now, Trevor, we got your teammate in the chat rooting on the 77 truck. Good to see Parker out there. Parker, can't wait to see you burn your tires up at Bristol Wednesday, buddy.
Yeah, Parker didn't get the memo on the league truck invites, so missed out on tonight. But right now, Tay McDonald's going to pull it down pit road after doing a quick little battle there with Grant Thorpe for first position. Tay going to call it time to come in and get some 4 fresh tires. So it's going to leave Grant Thorpe out there to make his pit stop, along with Trevor Keith, Chris Schaefer, Waylon Turner, the last of the 4 trucks to make their pit stops here tonight. And we'll have to kind of see how this cycles out. It looks like it will cycle over to Alex Berube, Kevin Orlando, Jeremy Burns should take the lead from this. And here comes that 77 machine of Grant Thorpe onto pit road.
Yeah, if he'd have stayed out any more laps, Trevor, I was going to ask you if Grant was doing that thing that we normally see him do, and see if he could turn it into a fuel mileage race. But I think it would be a little tough to make it from here, as they're having to go about 52 laps from this spot. So I do expect if they have to pit again, you're going to see a lot of maybe right sides and, just enough fuel to get there, a little splash and go.
That's good. Calculating that pit stop from here. I mean, it's going to be, 10, 15 to go, somewhere in that range for some of these guys. So you could see that 2-tire, splash and go strategy. But right now, Schaefer gets his lap led for the evening in that 26 machine. He's going to pull it down pit road. That's going to now give the lead back over to the 30 of Waylon Turner, who, Justice, we saw up front battling before the stage break and getting caught up in that caution. Now going to be off cycle by a couple of laps, but up there getting a lap led here before he comes down pit road.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of this go on once the season starts. I think these boys are going to do the same thing we do and have a little 1-point bonus for leading a lap, 1 point for leading the most laps. These guys are going to try to stay out, do some different things, and we'll see who's good at fuel conservation, tire conservation, things like that, as we see Waylon pull it down the pits now.
Got a little squirrely there down pit road, but kept it off the wall. So no damage done, but some time lost for that 30 machine. But it's going to hand the lead over here back to the 19 machine of Alex Berube, one of the fastest trucks all night long. Apart from being off cycle on the pit strategy, re-inherits the lead. Going to have almost about a 4-second lead over that of Kevin Orlando and Jeremy Burns.
Yeah, these we'll see how long he can hold on to it. Obviously, the tire advantage plays into it a little bit here, as these guys are going to continue to battle. I think if Burns is looking at that gap right now, about 3.5 seconds or so, he should back his pace off a little bit. We'll see. Having Nick in his ear, a teammate of his in the cup side, I think will help. But I think he's going to back this pace off maybe a little bit. You can let Kevin get to like 1.5 seconds and then really put the pedal down.
Yeah, we'll see if that pace is going to slow down. Looking at it right now, last lap for Alex Forget Berube, a 30.63. Kevin Orlando with a 30.58. Looking through the field, Nick Alves with a 30.36, along with Tay McDonald. They're on some of the fresher tires, so they're running a little bit quicker. As I think we're looking at the battle between Caleb Gilbert and Nick Alves. That's going to be a battle for, I believe, 4th and 5th position as they head down into turn number 1.
Yeah, as we see the field really starting to sort out, and what do we see, Trevor? These guys that we know kind of their quantity. We know who they are, what they are on the track. It's those guys that are good on green flag pit stops. They cycled their way out here. I guess basically give Alex a pit stop anywhere but Dover. and he is one of those that I love getting in and out. We know what he's going to bring to the table, but yeah, we're starting to see this sort out. I think you're going to have a guy like Tay. Tay right there on the last lap was 7/10 quicker than Alex. Starting to see those tires make a difference.
Yeah, Tay closing in. So I mean, looking at their last pit stop, Alex pitted lap 72, Kevin lap 76. Kevin's gained a couple of like almost 3/10 a lap the last couple of laps. So Kevin really closing in on the 4-lap fresher tires. But Caleb Gilbert pitted lap 79, Tim McDonald lap 80, Grant Thorpe 81. So I mean, those are going to be the guys that you've got to watch out for. The question is that gap going to be a little bit too big for them to close in? But you can see right here, Tay's caught up to Caleb and Nick Alves trying to get this pass done.
Yeah, I think Tay's going to probably make this one pretty simply. It's whether or not he can get past Caleb. I think his decision here maybe is get past Nick and then push Caleb. See if he can push the pace a little bit. If he can make Caleb push the pace, get him uncomfortable, you may see Tay make a pass later, but I don't know. Kevin, even being on 4-lap fresher tires, making up 3/10 a lap concerns me, as he only makes up about a 10th on the last lap. But yeah, I think Kevin may be burning it up a little bit too much, pressuring himself to get there. I think this 29, this 54, the guys you better watch out for.
Yeah, looking at their lap times, Caleb Gilbert a 30.7. That's 3/10 gain. Tay McDonald with a 5/10 gain on Alex Berube the last couple of laps. That time by Kevin Orlando again about a 10th quicker. So they are catching him. Jeremy Burns, you can see here going backwards as he's on the kind of the same strategy as Alex Berube. That 72 truck, Justice just can't catch a break. It seems like tonight. He's tried to play that tire strategy game, just has been on the wrong side of the coin pretty much from the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, he ends up on the unfortunate end of it. You know, kind of lost his track position in an unfortunate situation, and just hasn't been able to quite recover it. He got to third, but maybe couldn't get much past that. Led a couple, and then fell all the way back. And right now, it looks like the 29 and the 54, man, they're on a mission. Hopefully, not burning them up before they get there. I'd like to see these guys battle it out late.
Yeah, that'd be a great battle between them. But Caleb just going to let the 29 go down here into turn number 3, realizing, hey, I don't want to put up too much of a fight against Tay McDonald, realizing he's a little bit quicker right now than that 54 machine. But hey, use that draft and get that 29 to basically tow you around the racetrack and try to close that gap up on Kevin Orlando and Alex Berube. Kevin got it down now to just under 2 seconds as he's gained about another 2/10. So the 27's catching the 19 just ever so slightly, about 2/10 a lap over the last couple of laps.
Yeah, I think if we can get Rob to get on board with Kevin, maybe for a couple laps, we can see just how that looks out the windshield. When you're trying to hunt this guy down, at about 2 seconds back, you start to see that the top of that spoiler, and you're going, okay, where can I gain on him? What's he doing differently than I am? And what are my tires doing? Where's the life of those? And this is where you start to smell the blood in the water, and you really have to dial back the adrenaline. Or at least speaking for myself, I think it goes for most everybody. But you're dialing back that adrenaline, because once you see that spoiler, all you want to do is catch it. And you have to tell yourself, hey, I'm faster, I'm on a tire advantage, whatever it is, to make sure you don't burn it up so that you don't have anything left when you get there.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Having both of us having been in those situations when you're that chasing car and you've got that speed and the advantage is it's not going over the cliff there and just over driving it for no reason, because like you said, you smell that blood in the water, you see that spoiler, you see the gap closing, and you just want to push it ever so just that little bit more every lap, and really leads to disasters. You can fall off the cliff rather quickly. But Kevin closing in. But speaking of closing in, here comes Grant Thorpe. He's on the freshest tires of everybody inside the top 10 that's made their pit stop, as he's going to go to the inside there of Nick Alves. That's going to be for, I believe, 6th position. Or actually, I'm sorry, that was for 5th. So move Grant up to 5th position as the 77 machine starts his march back up to the lead.
Yeah, and Nick not willing to give it up easily, but I don't know that he's really going to have a choice here. I thought Grant would clear him easily down in 3 and 4. It looks like he gets him right here, and kind of as expected. But we see the 29 actually back to the 24. 24 dives back under the 77 in 1 and 2, refusing to make this easy. Grant, though, going to get the big run. as we may cycle back forward here. Tay catching Kevin and Alex by 5 7/10 a lap. Tay really making it up, and I don't know that Kevin will get to Alex before Tay gets to Kevin.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin's gonna get there. I think he's kind of hit that started to plateau. I mean, he is still gaining on Berube. He has the lap truck there of Michael Bennett, who we haven't touched on at all tonight, but Bennett having a rough race for himself in that 14 machine, finds himself 4 laps down. Um, so a rough start to the kind of start to the inaugural season for him in the unofficial race, but he gets one of those laps back as he passes his teammate. But here comes the 29, Tammy McDonald with a run on the outside. He closes in on the 29 to Kevin Orlando, going to cross it over to the inside, and Justice, he's going to have that, looks like almost cleared going into 1.
Yeah, Kevin just doesn't have anything left in the tank to battle him, and now it's going to be a battle for Alex. Can he keep that 29 machine behind him? Tay coming with a vengeance. I still don't think that Caleb Gilbert is out of this conversation. Knowing Caleb, he's just biding his time a little bit, but right now the story is how quickly can Tay catch Alex? Quicker he catches him, the more he's in that clean air, although the 14 truck being up there kind of eliminates a little bit of that. But if he can get to that clean air, it's going to be tough for Caleb to get to him only on a cut, 1 lap difference in tires.
Yeah, I think if you're Caleb, you need the 19 to do battle with the 29. The question is, I mean, how much is Alex really going to be able to battle Tay once Tay catches him? You see Caleb going to the inside here of Kevin into 3 and 4, and not too far behind them, quietly closing in on these two. Grant Thorpe in the 77 machine, he is lurking in that Dollar General truck as he closes in, coming across the start finish line. Don't count him out of this race as he runs in 5th position.
Yeah, Grant making up on time on everybody 1st through 4th right now. We see Tay starting to level off a little bit. Only a 10th faster than Alex there, not and a couple hundredths slower than Caleb. So Grant about a 10th or so faster than both of them. So yeah, Grant running a little quicker. I'm going to be interested to see if Tay's leveling off in this dirty air. Caleb's going to have a huge advantage getting to him.
That time by 31.6 for our race leader, 31.5 Tay McDonald, 31.4 for Caleb Gilbert. So he's the fastest of the top 3. Kevin Orlando with a 31.6, Grant Thorpe with a 31.4. So he's the fastest, I believe, 31.42. So makes him the fastest out of everybody inside the top 5. So the 77 still coming along, just not everybody kind of now in that dirty air wash, slowing each other down. But Tay McDonald looking to the outside, trying to get a little bit of clean air on the nose of that 29 machine as he crosses the start finish line right on the rear bumper of Alex Berube going into 1.
Yeah, he's all over him. The dive's coming. It's on which end? Is he going to try to get inside in 3 and 4? Can he get to that left rear? If he can just get to that left rear, we see him try to make the move here off of 2. If he gets there, the battle's probably pretty much done. As we saw him about a 10th and a half faster than Alex that lap. Caleb's still a little bit faster. Caleb loving to see this, though, because it allows him to creep right up on the battle. Tell you who else loves to see this is that 77 truck if he can get to Kevin.
Yeah, Grant or Alex Berube shuts the door hard on the second part of the dog leg there through the front stretch, but it's going to cost him here into 1 and 2 as he drifted up. Here comes the 29 to the inside. Out of turn number 2, here comes the 54 machine of Caleb Gilbert with a big run down the back straightaway. He's closing in on this battle. He's going to dive into the inside of the 19 of Alex Berube, but Berube going to try to hold it with the momentum. But Justice, I don't think he's going to have enough to get back up there to the 29, but he's going to have enough right now to hold off the 54 at least. But I say that, here he comes back on the 29, almost going into 1.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Caleb here. He wants to get by him, and he's got a huge advantage, but the disadvantage is that Tay wants to run that low line too, making Caleb really tight in the dirty air. I think now that there's a little bit of a gap there, Caleb may be able to slide down, kind of take this position from Alex and start doing battle, just him and Tay. A little concerning for me, these guys willing to battle pretty hard, especially Alex, knowing that everybody basically has to make another green flag pit stop if everything goes as planned. So interested to see. I think if I'm Alex, I maybe let a couple of these guys by a little easier, thinking that if I can save my left sides a little bit, I can definitely go down and just do 2 rights, come out here and try to make some kind of gap. If he could get like a 5-second gap off of that, he would be pretty good position.
That's gonna be the interesting thing here. Is gonna be that pit stop. When does that happen? Uh, and what do you do? We know that Berube is gonna have to come in about 10 laps before. I'm sorry, about 8 laps before that of Tay McDonald, Caleb Gilbert, and Grant Thorpe. So I mean, what's going to be the strategy call here, Justice? If you're the driver, what are you thinking here on this final pit stop?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've said it the whole time. 2 tires is probably king as we see Jeremy Burns already in the pits, pitting from around the 7th position. This is probably a big undercut kind of thing where he wants to go in as we see 5th place. Grant Thorpe, go ahead and pit. It looks like guys are getting to a window, splitting it maybe right down the middle of the runs and trying to get in and go ahead and get those fresh rubbers and get out here.
What a strategy call by Grant Thorpe. And you know what? I honestly don't hate that call from the 77 machine. I mean, you think about it, he caught back up to the leaders, was only about a second off. So come down, get 4 fresh tires, and get back out there, use that tire advantage because it's about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds, the difference between fresh and old tires for these guys. So not a bad call. And Caleb Gilbert in all of this chaos of pit strategy, pushing the 29 all the way down the front straightaway, trying to get that lead position away from him.
Yeah, Caleb trying hard to get to the bumper of that 29. Can he get to the left rear, make a pass? I think any lap now, you're going to see these guys come down. Even with the tire advantage they have, you can't give up that kind of time. As you do see Caleb peel off here. And this leaves Tay kind of in a weird position. Oh, Caleb loses it. And this is going to be very tough way to handle that if you're Caleb. What we did see coming out of here, I just want to go ahead and bring this up. The 77 is the first person and only person so far to only take 2 tires.
You called it, the 77 2 tire call. I think if you're the 54 there, Caleb Gilbert with that little half spin on pit road, you got to take 2 tires here and try to gain what time you've lost back. Here comes the 29. Tay McDonald down pit road. It's going to leave John Fike, Waylon Turner, Chris Schaefer, and Jeff Weimer still on the racetrack. And Grant Thorpe going to look like Justice. He's going to have, I think, about a 4-second gap back to Alex Berube by the time this whole thing cycles out.
Yeah, and that may be the winning call. The only other person so far that I've seen take 2 is Trevor Keith, but he was just over a second slower in the pit box. So going to be hard to make up a gap when that's the difference there. As we see Tay, as long as Tay's been in the box, that's a 4-tire stop. Did Grant Thorpe make the winning call? It's going to come down to that at the end. Who can run it the best? As we see Waylon Turner maybe sticking it out, trying to get a caution here. Same with Christopher Schaefer. Or maybe they've been clutching this whole time. Maybe they think they can make it, as I think they pitted on laps 83 and 82 respectively.
Yeah, you never know with those guys running the back. If you can save enough fuel and keep the pace up, you never know what could happen. And still the possibility of a late race caution could throw a wrench into everybody's playing here, as we've got that of about 24 laps left here to go tonight. Right now, we're waiting on Waylon Turner, Chris Schaefer to come down pit road, and that will give the lead back over to that Grant Thorpe, Alex Berube, Jeremy Burns, Kevin Orlando, Tay McDonald, Nick Alves, and Trevor Keith. Looks like it will be the drivers that take over the top spots once these two have made their pit stops. But Justice, not a bad call from these guys if you're waiting for a late race caution. We've seen some guys have issues on and off pit road. So not a bad call waiting for a caution, but I think you've made your bed now and you've got a line that you either run it till it goes out of gas or you're just kind of where you are.
Yeah, what they used to tell them in the old days, run it till it stumbles, flip the switch and come to us. And I think that's right where these guys are at. Kind of a 13-second gap back to Grant Thorpe. And you pretty much are stuck in that strategy now. You're going to run this thing till it's bone dry. As we see Kevin and it looks like Jeremy maybe trying to do a little battle here for 5th and 6th place. I'm interested.
See how that plays out. Grant Thorpe just off pace from that of Alex Berube. Bit of a technical stumble here, it looks like, on our end. Lag issues on the replay, but closing in on the 77 there with Grant Thorpe.
Yeah, he's closing that down. It looks like maybe down to a 2-second gap. So we see maybe the 4 tires are really, really paying off here, as Alex was one of the ones that took 4. But I think if you're Grant Thorpe, maybe you feel like, hey, I got to 5th. That was kind of get to on E. Guys, now I have to try something to see if I can keep the lead.
Yeah, has to try something. It wasn't a bad call either, and lap time's starting to kind of to even out between the two. As I say that, Berube almost about 3/10 quicker there than the 77. But if they get to battle and Jeremy Burns, Kevin Orlando, not that far back, you see him there just out of shot coming out of turn number 1 from the 19 there of Berube. So those two hoping for a battle, but 19 to go, coming to 18 to go. The laps are quick.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. That 29 car fell back. He's in 7th place right now as we see Waylon Turner pitting, kind of admitting defeat. Wave the white flag here. I expect that to happen within a lap or two, which will cycle again. Tay back to 5th. Can Tay catch Berube again, run him down from long range back?
That's if anybody can do it, it's gonna be Tay, but he's 10 seconds off of Schaefer, and I think it's gonna put him about
About 4.5 off of Alex.
Alex. Yeah, so I mean that's a tough ask to do in 17 laps, but if anybody's gonna do it, it could be Tay. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Looking at his lap times, running about 2/10 quicker than Alex was the last lap, 5/10 quicker than Grant Thorpe. So the speed's there. The question is the time there for him to catch everybody?
Yeah, and how much did Grant maybe say, hey, I've got that 4-second gap to Alex. Can I hold him off if I save a little bit? And how much of it is just rights were not the call? That's yet to be seen, as Alex is on the move trying to get to that bumper, that 77. That's basically a battle for the de facto win.
Yeah, it looks like we've got, I think, our technical difficulties sorted out. The fun part about being on the internet, Justice, you never know when the internet might decide to quit working. So we dealt with a little bit of lag issues there for the last couple of laps, but looks like it's sorted out. And here comes Berube. He has cleared the lap traffic there and caught up to the rear bumper of the 77 of Grant Thorpe. Now, you were saying, was Grant saving, or was the 2-tire call just not the right call? And right there, a little bit of a push from the 77, and here comes the 19. And I don't know if Grant's going to have much to battle this 19 with going into 3.
No, that truck just looks like it is not handling the 2 tires well, as we see the 19 clear him pretty easily. And that assumes the lead, as Schaefer was down pit road there from the lead. So now we've got the battle. Tay is cleared all the way up to 3rd, but coming from 3 seconds back, can he get there in 15 laps?
That's going to be a tough ask for him to do, and not a lot of traffic for Alex Berube to really deal with in that 19 machine. And I think for Grant Thorpe, it was just a little bit too long of a run to go on the 2 tires. You can see the truck just wiggle in the middle of the corner as it's just uncomfortable on those 2 right side tires. Alex Forget, with the great call of the 4 tires, assumes the lead, but Tay McDonald 2 seconds Justice off the leaders and about 3/10 quicker. I mean, at that pace, he's gonna get there.
He's gonna get there if he's only got 2 laps to battle. It's how well can he set up the pass, because that's what it's gonna matter, right? Catching's one thing, passing's another, and that's gonna be very tough when he gets to that 19 bumper of whether or not he can actually work his way by him. But these guys really putting on a great show for us tonight, Trevor. First live broadcast for these guys, a little bit of money on the line, and you see who's good in the pressure moments, who can step up, and we're going to see that more as this season winds on. These guys kick off on April the 8th, Trevor. First race of the season, and man, I am excited.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what the Racing Revolution Coastal Financial Truck Series has for us when their official season starts on April 8th. Just a test run, live run for us over here at the Revo Racing Network. Brought to you, in part by these guys at the Racing Revolution Coastal Financial Truck Series. So big shout out to them. The slurpsodas.com 200 tonight here at Charlotte has been a great race. One, I believe, on track caution, and then 1 stage break, and then a little bit of a fiasco during pacing during the stage. But it's been green flag since the I'm sorry, no, we had a quick caution after the stage break. So 2 on-track incidents, but ever since then, I believe lap 45, Justice, it's been green flag racing, and here we are with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, and unfortunate news for that 29 truck. Appears he's slowing up the pace a little bit, starting to match times with Alex, maybe trying to burn it up a little, just trying to get there, right? As we see him battling underneath Grant Thorpe here, probably going to clear him pretty easily in 3 and 4. Significant tire advantage there. Now you have 10 laps to get 2.5 seconds on that leader. Can you go hunt him down? Do you have what it takes? And if I was going to pick somebody, Tay is one of those top 5 guys. I'd say I'd put him on the list of he's going to dang sure give it a good effort.
He's going to need about 2.3 tenths a lap to get there to Alex Berube, maybe 2.5 tenths to have a chance to pass him before this race is over. And we'll see what the split is here. As it's his first lap in clean air, ran about a 10th quicker passing Grant Thorpe, but right now across the line, Alex Forget with a 31.22. Tay McDonald crosses the line, and Justice, the time just not there, 31.209. So not gaining the time he needs here with 9 to go.
Yeah, just not going to get it done for that kind of time, man. They're significantly faster than all the runners behind them, 2 to 3 tenths, some of them 4 tenths, but basically matching times with each other. And when you're Tay and you need a big run here to the end, that's just not going to get it done, unfortunately. But we'll see. 10 laps, you never know what happens when there's a lot of time for somebody to make a screw up that maybe wasn't a factor, right? Guy spins in the back, and all of a sudden, this is a green-white checkered battle to the win.
You never know what could happen further on back in the field. And just a quick full-field rundown right now. 14 trucks on the lead lap, led by Alex Berube, Tay McDonald, Grant Thorpe, Kevin Orlando, Jeremy Burns, your top 5. Nick Alves, Devin Hudgens, Matthew Robinson, John Fike, and Jake Williams going to round out your top 10 with Trevor Keith, Justin Hughes, and Waylon Turner are going to be the 13 trucks left on the lead lap. Jeff Weimer just went down a lap in the 78 machine. He's running in 14th. But just 7 laps to go. And Tay McDonald still 2 seconds back. Gained a little bit of time, but 7 to go. I think he's maybe hoping for a late race caution here.
Man, that onboard there with the 19 truck, though, he looks very tight coming off of 2. Looked like he might have made a little wall contact. Every time that happens, you're beating that bumper in a little bit. The skew of these trucks doesn't really love it when you give it an aero disadvantage, but even doing that, he still gained about 3 thousandths of a second on Tay. Yeah, it's just kind of leveled out here. Alex seems to have this thing in control. Great run by the 19, great run by the 29, but seems unfortunate without a caution. Tay's not going to get a chance to run him down. Alex is going to come out here and show these boys exactly how it's done.
Yeah, great drive by Tay. I mean, it came started in third, so I mean he's gained a spot, but kind of had some adversity. Got involved in that crash during the stage caution. Saw him go to the back of the field and running him back in the back, and had to drive up through the field. So it's been a great recovery run for the 29 machine, but just kind of ran out of time. Pit strategies didn't work out in his favor, but nonetheless a great run. Kevin Orlando now up to the podium spot in third, as he's been able to get around Grant Thorpe. And Grant, a valiant effort with the 2-tire call, but I think might lose a spot to Jeremy Burns as this race runs down. Looking at it, Burns, you can see there entering shot in turn 1. So he's got about a turn advantage over the 72, but Grant with a great call, Justice, just too many laps left to make that call, I think.
Yeah, it's a tough position. I think he maybe needed to be a little closer to the leaders to make that work. I know he was kind of breathing down their necks for a bit, but yeah, perhaps a hair too long to make that work. Need maybe a 10 to 12 lap run to the end. As we're on board here with Jeremy Burns racing with the 14 truck. 14 trucks about 4 laps down, so nothing really to battle for here. But we see Nick in 6th pull off into the pits. It's kind of a weird thing here.
Yeah, just 4 laps to go, 3 laps to go, and Nick Alves is just going to bring it down pit road. And I mean, he's getting service done, so I don't know, maybe got up into the wall, or maybe didn't get enough fuel in it. Justice, the iRacing does have that automated fueling system that sometimes can cause drivers a little bit of an issue and maybe didn't get the truck full of fuel for that 24 machine.
Yeah, I've had that happen myself. It auto fueled and accounted for a lot more pace laps than we ran to the end, and was about 1 lap short. Had to make a late pit stop and kind of screwed your whole race up there. As we see Alex starting to gap Tay a little bit here, and man, again, just can't say enough as he takes the white flag here, coming one to go off into 1 and 2, and just a little smooth Sunday drive to a win here. It looks like for the 19.
Nice, easy exit out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, half a racetrack to go for Alex Berube in the 19 machine, the man who started this race in 4th positions, worked his way up the lead, been pretty dominant all race long, working his way through nice and easy through 3 and 4. Tay McDonald just falling back just a little bit more, not going to be able to make it. But out of turn number 4, across the line, Alex Berube going to get it done here tonight in the slurpsodas.com 200 from Charlotte. Tay McDonald's going to bring it home in second, and Kevin Orlando Justice going to be our 3rd place finisher here tonight.
Yeah, we see 2 guys recover from that post-stage wreck and come back and finish on the podium. Big shout out to Grant Thorpe with the 4th place finish on the 2-tire call late. Our in-race reporter gains 4 positions to get his 6th place finish. And then you see Maddie Robinson up 13 positions for an 8th place finish. So, yeah, great run out of these guys. Can't wait to see some more of this as the season goes on. But stick around. I believe we're going to have an interview with our winner, 2nd place Tay McDonald, and 3rd place Kevin Orlando Jr.
Yeah, stick around. I think we're going to step aside for a quick second to get everybody sorted and ready to go. As you can see, the top 3 coming up to the finish line for photo shoot. We'll see Alex Berube do some victory burnouts, but we're going to step aside while we get our top 3 ready for interviews, and we will be back here shortly. And welcome back to the post-race show here on the Revo Racing Network. We're going to talk to our 3rd place finisher here, Kevin Orlando, in the 27 machine here in a couple of seconds when we get him pulled up into the booth, as he was able to drive up from his 5th place starting spot to 3rd.
That's right.
So we get Kevin pulled into the booth. Kevin, it's Trevor and Justice up in the booth here. How was it tonight out there at Charlotte?
A lot better than the Cup cars, that's for sure. I miss these things.
Yeah, I'll tell you the one thing maybe a little weirder about it. You had the wreck there at the stage, Kevin. Looked like you just kind of wrong spot, wrong time, victim of the crime. But was that rear damage super noticeable on the truck there at the end of the stage, or right after the
Oh,
stage?
yeah.
It looked like you were falling back pretty hard.
Oh yeah, I had front damage as well because that impact pushed me to the inside wall. But we were coming to the choose at that point, and I chose to gamble and stay out instead of pitting in. It worked out in the long run because we got that other caution to let me get the repair and get caught up. But yeah, no, that's if we didn't get that caution, there was no way I wasn't going a lap down.
Yeah, do you think you had a winning truck if not having to make up all the track position after the fast repair?
From the way the beginning of the race went, I think it would have been pretty much the same case. I mean, Alex was fast. Alex was mad fast all day, and he played the pit stops right. The timing was all what it came down to at the end there.
Well, Kevin, I mean, it's the first official unofficial race of the Racing Revolution Truck Series, the first official league race, non-open hosted, before we get to the season opener in a couple of weeks at the start of April. I mean, how are you feeling going into that, and how are you feeling about the group of guys that you're going to be potentially racing around?
I gotta say, I'm impressed by the group of guys. I mean, Charlotte is not the easiest track, so to go pretty much, we had 3 cautions, including the stage, so 2 live cautions. I mean, that's incredible, especially fresh out of the gate. A lot of new guys that aren't used to racing around each other, and pretty much full field. What we have 30 tonight, something like that. So uh, I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. The mix of new guys and the guys that I see on Wednesdays. It's again just it's good to have a car with a tire on it instead of just whatever cup cars have these days because I don't like it.
No, understandable. Well, Kevin, uh, anything else you have for us here tonight? It's your chance for the shout outs. So shout out anybody you want. Any last thoughts before we let you go?
I mean, I guess shout out. It's got to go down to the guys stepping up and running this segment of Racing Revolution. I've been pretty much hands off, which is nice. They seem to be doing a pretty good job. And shout out to you guys, of course. I'm looking forward to watching back this broadcast. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else we got going on right now. I got to check the sponsorship, so I don't want to shout out anyone that isn't involved. So I'm just gonna bite my tongue instead.
And learn these real quick: slurpsodas.com and Coastal
Okay.
Financial.
I should have known about Coastal Financial being part of it because I saw the logo earlier today. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to Slurp Sodas, and shout out to not Rob. I'm kidding.
All
But
right.
yeah, and a shout out to Alex on another fantastic race. He's been killing it in the preseason here. So
All
I
right.
appreciate you coming up, Kevin. We'll bring you back down to the waiting room, and I think we're gonna get on down to Tay next.
Yeah. Bring up Tay McDonald in the 29 machine, our second place finisher of the night. Tay, pretty good battling throughout the night. You and Kevin had the unfortunate mix up there at the stage caution, but you drove back up through the field there. How are you feeling about tonight as a whole?
I felt okay about it. I didn't practice a whole lot until stage or the session opened an hour before, but I mean there was a lot of racing throughout the whole thing, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, the last kind of came down to the last pit stop there, Tay, making a run. I couldn't tell for sure. It looked like maybe you burned it up a little bit early, trying to get to Alex, or maybe you just didn't quite have the same pace. I couldn't tell, but it just looked like a little bit different run than the run prior to that. What was the feel there on that last run to the finish?
Well, I knew everybody had to make at least one more pit, and I wasn't sure when everybody was pitting. I knew I was probably one of the last ones to pit, which is how I wanted it. But as soon as I got to Kevin, I felt like I'd be able to catch Berube an amount of time, but it held steady at like 2.7 or something like that. And yeah, I missed that last run because I wasn't really sure in what strategy they were on, but yeah, as soon as I got past Kevin, I couldn't gain anything on Berube.
Well, Tay, we're a couple weeks away from the official start of the season. I mean, what's your excitement level of getting this truck series, not only the league started, but the season started here?
I'm excited. I mean, this league, this truck, league has taken off a lot better than I expected it to. I mean, I expected there to be caution after caution tonight, but I think we had one or two maybe. And I don't know. There's, obviously you can tell, some guys have been doing it for a little while and some guys are new. But that's just going to take some seat time. And I don't, see this being far off compared to the next gen league that we run on Wednesdays.
Well, Tay, we appreciate you out here tonight. And before we let you go, I mean, the floor is yours for any shout outs, thank yous you want to give before we let you get out of here for tonight.
Yeah, I just want to thank my team at Racing for Freedom. Thank my grandma Linda. Then thank the admins of the league and the league sponsors, Coastal Financial, Slurp Sodas, and my sponsor, Echo Electric Supply. So, yeah, a lot of fun tonight.
All right. Well, that was going to be the driver of the number 29 machine, Tay McDonald, our second place finisher here tonight. And Justice, we get ready to bring up the race winner, the 19 of Alex Berube. Alex, you get the win here tonight, buddy. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Ah,
But I'm feeling tired, honestly. My right arm is a bit hurt right now. That was kind of intense.
yeah, you go
Uh,
out, dominate the race there, Alex. Win the stage, win the race. I want to hear a little bit in your perspective on what it takes to go out and beat up on these boys like that.
You need to stick to your strategy. That's the most important thing. And contrary to unlike the next gen cars, you can actually like their strategy about saving tires and all that. So it falls right on in our hand, and I feel like I was really able to when I got off cycle with all the guys behind that they got up to us. Then I went to pit and I was in front of them. I calculated how much laps it took them to catch me to see how I was managing my tires, and it took them like 20-ish, 25 laps, something like that. So I knew I was for the last pit stop and the last run, I was gonna have a good run at it.
Yeah, it looked like you had the fastest hot rod in the field. Going into the trucks this preseason run you've been on, man. You've I think you've won two or three of these things. Does that bring a lot of confidence that you're going to be able to get in starting on April the 8th and really get this thing rolling? Maybe get a championship in that 19 corner.
I would love to do that. You put me in anything but a next gen car, and I will be in the top five most weeks, especially on ovals. So yeah, really looking forward to the start of the season and see what I can do and teach some guys. Maybe I'm not as fast as I should be on Wednesday, and get me on something else, and I'll kick their ass.
Well, well, Alex, we are looking forward to seeing what you're going to put on for us when the season starts off on April 18th in that 19 machine. Because, like Justin said, I mean, you were flying out there tonight, and I think the field's going to have somebody they got to look out for week in, week out. But before we let you get out of here, I mean, first live broadcast for us over at Revo Racing Network. We're going to close it out here with you, buddy. So you get to give us the final shout outs for the night. So anybody you want to thank, go for it.
Yes, sir. I know that my girlfriend was watching. As maybe half a lap after I crossed the line, I heard a big woo downstairs. So that was kind of nice. I know my best friend just texted me to congratulate me. So thank you, Max, for watching. Thank you to Maxi for sponsoring the car, Slurp Sodas, and Coastal Financial for sponsoring the truck league. And I was watching on the side of my eye the broadcast in case anything happens, and I had you guys in my ear really low, but I was still hearing what you guys were saying, and that was an amazing broadcast. I love you guys.
Well, thank you, Alex, for the kind words, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do going forward for the rest of the season, and we'll let you get out of here for the night, and that's going to be our race winner, the 19 machine of Alex Berube, and we wish him luck going forward. But Justice, that was 134 laps here for the Racing Revolution Coastal Financial Truck Series guys around Charlotte for our first live broadcast here at the Revo Racing Network. And you can see the full field rundown there. Alex Forget, Tay McDonald, Kevin Orlando, Grant Thorpe, Jeremy Burns, your top five. But Justice, your overall thoughts on tonight and what we saw?
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed watching that. That's a throwback to kind of some old school racing, man. Go out there and save that tire, and who can you go out there and be faster than? So, I think great things coming out of this league on Monday nights. These guys are going to be tough, and you want to watch what makes guys get better. Watch them get beat by 2 and 3 seconds every week during an off season or a preseason like this. And you're going to watch guys really put the work in. We watch it happen in next gen. I think most of us got tired of watching that 53 car go park it in Victory Lane, and all of a sudden started getting a lot better what we were doing. So, yeah, I think these guys are going to put in the work. You're going to see them get really good, and we're going to have a heck of a battle.
Yeah, I think we are going to be in for a heck of a battle. But for tonight, I think that's going to do it for us here at the Revo Racing Network, the new home of the Racing Revolution Coastal Financial Truck Series. Make sure you tune in to our next broadcast. We will have it posted to all our social medias, and it will be on our new YouTube channel. But in the meantime, since you're here on the Racing Revolution YouTube channel, be sure to check out the Racing Revolution After Dark podcast, brought to you by some of the admin there in the Wednesday Night Cup Series League with guests from our drivers, posting now, I think, every 2 weeks or every other week. So check those new episodes out. Also, go back and check out the ones in the archives. But big shout out to all the guys here, Coastal Financial Services, Slurp Sodas, and all the new league sponsors coming on. For myself, Justice Murphy, and our wonderful new producer, Rob Raider over there. You haven't heard anything from him, but he's doing a wonderful job working all the cameras for us. That is going to do it for us for our first live broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate everybody stopping by. Have a wonderful evening.